Elder President, I have been researching my dad's injuries and this mystery assault on my bloodline since I was 17. I do believe I have one of the main criminals. His name is Kurt Eaton. This gentleman was a trooper, and he got in a terrible fight with my dad years ago, and he was beaten up because he lost the fight. But I do believe this man has had an agenda to assassinate and just destroy my dad's whole life and his children. Why? Because it all falls into place, Mr. President. He got expelled from the troopers barracks the same time my dad was going into surgery, which could be a punishment from God expelling him for his dirty deeds. I have to have an investigation done and interview the doctors who worked on my dad, because my dad was a sniper instructor and he was one of the greatest shooters the Army has ever known, and he really was. And his brain was severed so that his right arm could no longer work. I don't believe for a second that that is coincidental. Somebody ordered that. They either did that to steal the king's line so that they could rule, or it was Eaton. Anyhow, this same Kurt Eaton, my little brother Brandon Plank was rejected from social services help, and rejected. Brandon finally went nuts with upsetness and went pillaging as an act of anger, and Kurt Eaton was the one who ordered my younger brother terribly beaten down with nightclubs, dragged. He was Johnny Cochran. I'm not kidding you. There's medical records to prove it. He even had a huge cut in his shoulder. Mr. President, when I went to the troopers barracks to find out why they did this to him, Kurt Eaton was sitting in that office, all quiet, giving me this stupid ass grin. Okay, this man has been... I was working at Bully Hill in the Culinary Arts under Kevin Cornwell, and he appeared again. I saw him appear and he got into his vehicle. This man has been following my dad and my dad's bloodline, has been doing a lot of criminal activity. He illegally arrested me for being with a gentleman who broke into a home. I was in the vehicle. I didn't go in the home. I was like, dude, no way. I'll sit right here and wait for it, because we were way out in the middle of nowhere. And he illegally grabbed me, threw me in his car, drove me to the troopers barracks, and handed me a felony. Mr. President, I was an all-state running back. I had a clean record. I had my whole life ahead of me, and this scumbag did this to me. Do you understand? And I've never been... he totally humiliated me. It was in the papers, everything. And I told him, I said, look, I was only in the car. And I told him, I said, look, I didn't go in that house. I said, look, I don't do what you got to do. I'm going to wait right here. I'm not part of it. And it didn't matter. The man ruined my life. Now, I've went on with life, but this man is sitting in the shadows, operating his agenda. How much invent do you want to allow me to put him away? I am a chaplain security officer. I have the power to arrest. This man is the one who ordered these things. This man will not leave me alone. I terribly would like to have... I will pay the United States government to give me 1 hour with him in a ring. 1 hour anywhere. In a field. I don't care where it is. Because I want to slap the dog piss out of him. Name your price. I'll design anything you want, Elder President, because I know this man is behind all this. Well, obviously, it's totally up to you. Okay? My dad was an awesome soldier, Elder President. Check his records. This man has something to do with all this. And I want to investigate it. I'm investigating it myself. If you had a dad What would you do, Mr. President?